G'day, welcome to Mt.Coramba Apiculture. It's been a while since I made a video. We've had wet weather here since the end of February. It started raining then and it hasn't stopped raining since. We've had two major floods through our property here and metres and metres of rain. So just starting the process of going through these hives to get them ready for winter. First one I'll look at is the Flowhive. Just see how they're looking and get them set up to go through what we call winter. This rain's going to keep going, so need to make sure that they're one, alive, and two, got enough nutrition to get them through. So I'm expecting for the flow super to be completely empty. Don't expect there to be any honey in there. So we're going to remove the flow super, take it back into the shed. Just going to check the brood box for disease, make sure they're queen right, and just make sure they've got enough resources down there to get them through this next few months of wet weather. So we'll get going. So lid off, a quick look under this crown board. So I can see straight away there's no activity up in that flow super, so have a quick look at a few frames. Yeah, as I thought, completely empty. Let's go through and look at a few in the middle here. Once again, completely empty. No honey at all in those frames, so this flow super definitely needs to come off, and we'll get them down to one box and just get them nice and compact and warm. So down into the brood box, there's a scattering of bees up there. That doesn't look too bad. Let's go through these brood frames and see what we can see. What I'm expecting is to pull a couple of frames out and throw a sugar feeder in, give them a bit of a lift. So that's empty. That's empty. That's empty. Bit of weight in this, so probably just it's a plastic frame. There's nothing in that. So I'm looking for brood. One, to make sure they've got a queen, and two, to check for signs of disease. Yeah, nothing of any note there. Not seeing much there. I'll give them a shake. See some eggs. Yeah, there's a little tiny bit of seal brood there, and I can see eggs in the frame. These bees have got no stores, no resources at all. They're basically starving. So we'll fix that. Shake. A little bit of brood there. Tiny little bit of pollen. They're in a lot of trouble. They need to be fed soon, well today, or they'll die. So scattering a brood there, a few eggs. So what I'm going to do is put these back together and I'll throw a sugar feeder on them. So we've got our frame feeder here. I like these ones to feed inside the hive. Man Lake, they've got a bit of a sieve in there so the bees can't drown in the syrup, and they'll hold about 3 or 4 litres, I think. So I've found these to be really good. So get that in there, funnel. So that's quite strong syrup, 2 to 1, so 2 kilos of sugar to 1 litre of water. Fill it right up. So that's 4 litres filled to the top, and they'll get stuck straight into that. You can see them lapping it up there now. So that should give them a bit of a pick up and hopefully save them, but they were sort of days off starving. No resources at all in that hive. And that's typical of this time of year on the mid-north coast, when we just have no nectar flow at all, and we really haven't had anything for a couple of months. So they've chewed through that 10 frames of honey in the top and nothing, no resources in the bottom. So let's see how the sugar goes, and we'll come back to them in a few days. They'll take that sugar up straight away. We'll come back to them in a few days and just see how they look. Put that crown board on. I'm not going to put the silly Flowhive roof back on. I'll get a different polyhive roof and put on it. So that's the lid off our polyhives. They'll be much happier with that on the top. They'll be a bit warmer. Brick on there to keep the lid down. The only other thing I'm going to do is put the though I don't use these stupid trays in the bottom, I'm going to put it back in, but upside down, just to cut off that that circulation through the bottom. So that once again, that'll keep it nice and warm. No draft from the bottom. So that's better. That's got them basically packed down. They've got some resources there now, which is 2 to 1 sugar syrup. That'll give them a better outlook on life, and hopefully they can just pick themselves up and Queen can get laying again and build up a little bit of brood to get them through the winter. So I'm expecting a lot of my hives will look like this. It's just a matter of going through them now, and where they have got resources in them, pack them down, and if they haven't got enough resources, they'll have to be fed some sugar syrup. So if you're in the mid-north coast area or any up and down the east coast, really keep an eye on your bees and make sure that they're got enough resources to get them through the winter. So that's our flow hive. We'll revisit it again and see how they're going.